So today on BKRsport, we are here for round number 19 of the NRL. We're going to get into our tips again. Guys, there's not actually too much necessarily going on here. Besides, maybe, we could talk about that Bulldogs and not Manly. Probably should be Manly. Bulldogs and Broncos. Bulldogs and Broncos down there at the bottom of the table. Can't believe I forgot that one. Gee whiz. I guess with the Panthers, if they win, they go and finish in first place. That'll be the first time in a very long time and win the minor premiership there. And they're looking probably fantastic. Can they go into the finals like this? We don't know. We'll talk about this in future videos, but the Panthers are looking pretty good right now, and I know a lot of people are still doubting them when it comes to actually getting to finals, including me, experience-wise. But, we'll see how we go. They're looking pretty good right now. But in regards to the top 8, guys, really, there's not much to really talk about. Cronulla Sharks beating the Warriors last week ensured that, the top 8 is locked off there. The Sharks are more than likely going to be finishing in 8th, and no one else outside of that 8 can actually mathematically make it anymore. So, thanks, Warriors. No, I'm joking. I did tip you Sharkies, but no, good result there for the Sharkies, and hopefully they can do something in the finals. Not that I believe really they're going to, but I'd like to see it. But enough talking about what the situation is currently. Let's get into our tips for round number 19. 2 more weeks to go until the NRL Finals, baby. I am pumped. I am keen. Let's get into round 19 for 2020. First up, guys, we have the South Sydney Rabbitohs going up against the Canterbury Bulldogs. Now, really, there is actually quite a lot at play here. The Rabbitohs are still playing for a home final, and the Bulldogs, for the 15,000th time this year, just need one more win to get off the bottom of the ladder. Just one win. That's all, lads. That's it. You led 10-0 against Manly, and you lost. You did well against the Titans, but you lost. You Parramatta, you lost, and now you come up against the Rabbitohs, who are a very high-scoring team, guys. Very high-scoring team with the Rabbitohs. Now, look, the Rabbitohs have definitely started hit form at the right time of the season. They were pretty average for the first half, and then enough when Latrell Mitchell goes out, they actually start doing well. I like Latrell Mitchell, I do, so I'm not going to sit here and say that, it's his fault, but in the same sense, the Rabbitohs are really looking red hot right now. The only thing you're going to look at with them is that they do concede points, but they do score a lot of points. So obviously they did concede 30 against the Tigers, 28 against the Tigers, and it was they were up 20-0 in that game, and obviously the Tigers came rampaging home. However, you also realise the Tigers were still playing for their season at that point. The Sharks-Warriors game hadn't started yet, so they didn't know the Sharks were going to win and make it mathematically impossible. So the Tigers, they were still technically playing for their season, and that's why that still made it quite interesting if it wasn't for Benji Marshall making a pretty inexperienced decision there as an experienced player. But the key aspect that everyone needs to realise of this game is you got to look at it scoring wise, right? So obviously everyone looks at it scoring wise normally, but let's look a little bit more in depth. So the Dogs have been well known for quite a few years now of being quite a defensive team rather than an attacking team. They get into the opposition 20 and they don't do jack shit from it. And I guess defensively they haven't been too good this year either, but that's not the point. The point is that with the Bulldogs, they don't really score points. They don't usually put too many points on the board. And we saw that even against Manly where they went up 10-0 and Lachlan Lewis dropped the ball quite a few times in that attacking 20. They just don't have that option. So in comparison, you have to go and look at the Rabbitohs, who for the last 8 or 9 weeks have scored 30 points in a row. So you're going to have to look at it like, wait a second, the Dogs are going to have to, assumedly, score more than 30 points to even have a sniff at this game, to even be with a chance at this game, because the Rabbitohs are putting up those points. So you would have to imagine that the Dogs are going to have to put up that margin too, and more, to beat the Rabbitohs. Now, do you think the Bulldogs are going to do that with their scoring record? I don't think so. Anything can happen in sport. Anything can happen in rugby league. But does it look likely? Probably not. Probably not. So I'm going to take the Rabbitohs here. I'm going to take the Rabbitohs by 10 points. I think they'll win maybe, I don't know, 30-20 or 28-18 or something like that. I don't usually like to put up scores here because score lines are just ridiculously, it's really difficult to predict. But, I'll take the Rabbitohs. I'll take them by 10 points. I think the Bulldogs will have enough in them to, somewhat compete, and they'll probably be leading at some stage in this game before they choke it all away like they usually do. Next up, guys, we have the Cowboys going up against the Penrith Panthers. Now, this game, really, you should be looking at like the Panthers are going to win this one. I'm not telling you I'm going with yet, even though you know I'm going with. This game should be quite simple. The Panthers are obviously on top of the table right now. If they win, they lock up the minor premiership. Cowboys, they kind of look somewhat impressive in regards to their attack against the Storm, but the thing with the Cowboys is that we streamed this game, right, and to be fair to you, they had a decent attack. At least they scored some points, and I guess it wasn't an embarrassing effort, but in regards to the defense, it definitely was an embarrassing effort. And unfortunately, their attack just doesn't get them over the line enough to fix the defense. Like some of those tries that the Storm were scoring, ridiculous. Like some of those tries that the Storm were scoring was literally painful to watch. I'm not a Cowboys fan, I don't mind the Cowboys, but I'm not a Cowboys fan. So to me, it doesn't really matter because the Titans are above them, what do you do? But it was painful. It really was. The Cowboys' defense was just atrocious. It was all over the shop, and everything the Storm were throwing at it was just working because that defense was just pitiful. It just was. So luckily for the Cowboys, they had somewhat of an attack to really kind of put something there to make it less than embarrassing, but they still lost convincingly. Panthers, on the other hand, are obviously firing on all cylinders right now. They are, if they win this game, they do obviously finish on top of the table in the minor premiership for the first time in a very long time, and really they'd be firing straight into the finals on a high. They do play the Dogs next week, and surely you would assume the Panthers win that game, but in the same sense, surely the Panthers are going to win this one and they're going to keep their momentum alive. They don't have a hard run home, and you just safely assume they're going to go into the finals undefeated at this point. I'm not going to talk more about that. I think that the Panthers are going to win this game. I think they're going to put them by 18, 20 points there. I think it'll be convincing, and I think they'll walk it in the end. So congratulations to the Panthers on winning the minor premiership. Friday night action, Brisbane Broncos. Well, they're not at home. Parramatta Eels versus the Brisbane Broncos there, and the Eels, they're not looking too good right now. No, they are not. The Broncos obviously definitely aren't looking too good right now. They're in 15th place, and they're playing for nothing except for avoiding the wooden spoon. So by the time they play this game, they will have already known if the Bulldogs have beat the Rabbitohs. If the Bulldogs do end up beating the Rabbitohs, then the Broncos probably play a little bit harder in this game, but I'm going to take Parramatta here, and I don't really want to take Parramatta because Parramatta haven't given me any reason to back them in at all at any stage. They're kind of just a really bland team right now. Their attack is just nothing's going on, and defensively they're decent, but if anyone thinks that this team is playing like a top 4 team right now, or this top 4 position is representative of how their season's gone, you're mistaken. It's tough because they are in the top 4 right now. They had a good start of the season, but ever since probably that Manly loss, I guess maybe that Manly loss where they probably should have lost 2 games to Manly this year, but the second Manly loss, they just fall apart, and obviously they've got no attack. Blake Ferguson, for one, their winger scored his first try for the whole season last weekend. What shit's that? What the hell shit is that? So Parramatta still have a lot to play for. I think they're going to have to win this game to obviously stay in the top 4. I'm not sure the Rays play yet. We're going to obviously get that in a second, but I'm going to take the Eels to win this game. I'm going to take the Eels to win by, we'll go 8. No, we'll go 14 points. We'll go 14 points simply because I feel like they're going to try and get back on track. This is the Broncos, not exactly a great team. And as I tipped the Rabbitohs, that would safely assume the Bulldogs haven't won, so they would need the last game to win, and the Broncos won't really necessarily have too much to play for. Saturday afternoon action, we've got my boys going up against Manly Seagulls. Manly Seagulls and the Gold Coast Titans. This should be quite an interesting game. The Gold Coast Titans obviously, doing quite well at the moment. Manly came back against the Dogs to, keep their season, respectable-ish. They were down 10-0 to the Dogs, but they did come home strong in the end. They did get a big win there, so you got to commend them for their efforts, especially when they looked absolutely diabolical to start there. In comparison to the Gold Coast Titans, they didn't exactly blow the world. They didn't really smash that Broncos team when they probably should have smashed that Broncos team, but they still got a convincing win in the end. A hard game to read this, very hard game to read. Obviously this is at Brookvale, so Manly have the home advantage here, and the Gold Coast Titans, we haven't won 4 games in a row probably in my lifetime. I can't remember the last time we won 4 games in a row. I do believe that we are the better team. I do believe that we are on the right track here. I'm very happy with how this season has gone. We were obviously predicted to come last place, and right now we have a chance of finishing in 9th. So it definitely is a successful season here for the Titans, considering that Justin Holbrook is a new coach. We've got a whole bunch of new guys on the team, and we've got more new guys coming in next year. Manly, on the other hand, it's a failure of a season. It's a failure of the season. It's straight up as that. So they were expected to probably be pushing for top 4. I had them to win the comp. So yeah, with Manly, they're definitely a failed season, but I'll take the Titans here. I'll take the Titans here to go 4 in a row and really gain some momentum going into next season. I just feel like Manly have just gone completely off track, and they're just not who they should be. They really should be a top 8 team, but obviously they're not this year, so I really don't think they're getting it together this year. They probably do get it together next year. They probably do make the top 8. Next year's top 8 is really difficult to predict because obviously you're going to have your Titans there, you're going to have your Manly there, you're going to have and you're going to have those teams that are already in the 8 right now that are going to be fighting. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough next year to think about what's going to happen. Even the Dragons can put something together. You never really know. But I'll take the Titans here. I'll take the Titans in a close one. Taking 6 points. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty confident. I'm not going to lie. I'm more confident than what I would normally be with this Titans team. So yeah, I'm very happy with how we've gone this season, and hopefully we can go 4 in a row. Another game on Saturday afternoon, we have the Melbourne Storm going up against the West Tigers. The Tigers not playing for anything right now, and Melbourne Storm, well, if Panthers were to beat the Cowboys on Friday night, then Panthers would have won the competition. So really, Storm aren't playing for too much. They are still mathematically fighting for top 2, but in reality, they're going to make top 2. They're going to be coming second. So they're coming up against a Tigers team who've looked average. You know, I had people telling me halfway through the season they're going to make the 8. I had people telling me at the beginning of the season they're going to make the 8, and I was like, no, they're not going to be making the 8. I'm going to take the Storm here, guys. I'm going to take the Storm to win by 16 points. I think they're going to be really ramping it up towards finals. Hopefully Craig Bellamy ripped into him and said, buddy, if you don't, buddy, not concede that many points, if you concede that many 10 more points again, I'm going to slap every single one of you with this bloody door. I'm going to grab this door, I'm just going to whack you. That's probably what he said. And we all know what Craig Bellamy's team will like. So he would have gone in there with torn to shreds, Storm by 16 points. Saturday night, Roosters versus the Sharks. Now, I'm going to be streaming this game, guys, and I'm actually really excited for this. Roosters and Sharks is usually quite a good game. The Sharks are obviously a very high attacking team. Sean Johnson's back right now. They didn't look great at all against the Warriors, but they did get the win in the end, and it was quite funny that Toby Rudolph, the guy who obviously reneged on his contract, fair enough, you know, not like a Daly Cherry Evans, you know, dickhead move, but like Toby Rudolph was the one who obviously reneged on his contract because of things that's going on in Australia, and he was the one who actually ended the Warriors season, and Manly's and Gold Coast and Dragons and Tigers as well. But the point of the matter is that obviously we're going to go to the Warriors. Now, on the other hand, the Roosters, you know, they're starting, they've got all their players, but Boyd Cordner out is absolutely huge. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands here, but it's just huge. If Boyd Cordner is out, it is absolutely massive. But apparently he's in. Well, that could be a game time decision. I'm not too sure, but it says here that he's in. It says there that he's in. So look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna take too long on this one. I'm gonna take the Roosters here. I want the Sharks to win. I think this will be a very close game. I'm gonna take the Roosters by 2 points. I know, the Sharks are one of the worst defense teams in the competition, but they're also one of the better attacking teams in the competition. And I think they held their own against a team that was really heavy pushing into the 8, and they beat out the Warriors in the end. So I think the Sharks will be able to muster up something, but will they be able to get over the line? Probably not, especially if Boyd Cordner is in fact playing. So no, I will be taking the Roosters here, Roosters by 2 points, and I'm very much looking forward to this game. Alrighty, quick little adjustment there because my camera died, but we got the Raiders going up against the Warriors on a bit of Sunday afternoon footy. And as much as it seems like I'm getting excited about that one, not really. I'm taking the Raiders here, guys. Obviously, this game, it's meaningful for the Raiders. It's not really meaningful for the Warriors. The Warriors, you know, they finished their season with that loss to the Sharkies. I think it's a very commendable effort from the Warriors to finish where they finished this season. They'll probably finish maybe 10th or 11th in my personal opinion. There's still a couple of teams that might finish above them, but I think they did really well considering the circumstances surrounding this season. Obviously, it would have been an absolute dream to see the Warriors make the top 8. I don't think it was really realistic at any stage considering the gap between the Sharks and wherever just the top 8 and the bottom 8, but it made it relatively close. Obviously, in regards to the Raiders, they're in 5th place right now. They're 2 points behind Parramatta. Now, obviously, I tipped the Eels already, so that would automatically assume they're 4 points ahead of the Raiders. So for the Raiders to still have a chance of making top 4, they would need to win this game, and yet they'd still be down by 2 points. So, like I said, I'm taking the Raiders here. I think they're looking a little bit sneaky. They just came off a 37-8 drubbing of the Dragons. I think that they are a better team than an underdog. I reckon that they are, well, do I call them an underdog? Do I not call them an underdog? It's not like I would call them a Roosters or a Panthers or a Storm, but I don't think they're in the same category as Eels, and then I don't think they're in the same category as the Knights and the Rabbitohs and the Sharks. So I don't think the Rabbitohs are on their own little area there as well. So it's like, I don't really know how to take the Raiders this year. I think that if I was to kind of shuffle this top 8 around, give them an order of how I think that's going to, who has the most likely chance, I got the top 3 in the same category of Storm, Panthers, and Roosters. Next, I'd probably put the Raiders in their own little category here. Don't know if I want to put them there, but I don't think I want to put them too low. The Eels are probably in their own category too, but they're probably, no, I reckon the Eels are in the Rabbitohs in the section here. I reckon the Eels and Rabbitohs are right below that. And then those last 2 spots would go to the Sharkies and the Knights. So for me, I think the Raiders definitely win this game. I reckon they're good enough to make top 4. I reckon they deserve to be top 4, but will they make top 4? It's a difficult one because the Eels have a decent run home. Finally, guys, wrapping this all up for round number 19, we have the Newcastle Knights playing host to the St. George Illawarra Dragons. This game is quite interesting. Knights probably should win this game, but the Dragons, even though they're coming off a big loss, they can also put up a performance. Will they put up a performance here? Probably not. Probably not. They've got the team to do it. Let's not lie. They've got the team to do it, but they're obviously in a bit of a transition season right now. They've got obviously they sacked their coach and they've got a new coach, and you know, next season they should start picking up a little bit more. But for this season, they're not going to roll over. But the Knights are going to win this game. I'm taking the Knights here, and I'm going to take the Knights by 20. I think the Knights are very inconsistent, and I really don't know if they're going to do anything in the finals at all. I really liked their defense at the start of the season. It's really deteriorated since. I think they've got a decent attack, but I just feel like they'll try and get some momentum driving towards finals here, and it's going to give them a little bit of an unwarranted confidence, and that's good. You know, good on you, have some confidence, but I think it'll come crashing down in the first week, because for me, I don't know if the Knights have got what it takes to beat the Rabbitohs, or to beat the Raiders or Eels away from home, whether it be in Bankwest or whether it be at GIO Stadium or it be at ANZ against the Rabbitohs. I just don't think that the Knights have got what it takes to do it. If the Rabbitohs were to lose this game and the Knights were to win, they would jump the Rabbitohs and the Knights would have a home final there. But I think the Rabbitohs do win their game. But Knights fans will definitely be absolutely praying that the Dogs, well, so there we go. We've got buddy Titans fans, and we've got Knights fans getting around the Doggies this week. Ho, 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 ho. I don't mind Rabbitohs. I would actually genuinely love them to win the premiership, but you know, that's besides the point. What's more important? Broncos coming last. But alright guys, that is going to do us for today's video. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Obviously subscribe if you're around here guys. We've got about 4 NRL streams we're doing this week. If you are new to the channel, we do streams every single day across all different sports, including baseball, NFL, NRL, AFL, buddy, A-League, you know, Premier League. Gee whiz, we absolutely smash it. So I do appreciate all the support. I do appreciate everyone new around here. The main content of the channel is actually usually, you know, videos like this and vlogs, like game day experience vlogs at the games, but I'm still stuck at Fiji right now, so I won't be back until about November. So that's why we've been absolutely smashing live streams. We'll still do live streams even when I come back and stuff like that, just won't be as many because I'll be doing vlogs whenever I can't get to games. We're doing vlogs, and obviously for Chicago Cubbies games. But no, I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for all the love. Do remember guys, the AFL tips came out yesterday on the channel. Tomorrow NFL tips will come out, and also probably Friday or Saturday maybe we'll be bringing out the Premier League tips for this week. So I do appreciate you. Hit that notification bell as well, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Catch you later.